Hey there folks, this is GreenyXI, welcoming you right back to Let's Play Danganronpa. This is episode 41. In the last episode we finished off chapter 5 and we found out that Monokuma was rigging the whole trial for that chapter so that Makoto would be caught up, or Kyoko, whichever worked out for him I think. And we found out that on the second floor dorms, Kyoko had found some really strange rooms which we're going to be exploring in chapter 6. Let's get going. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That's the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. Nope, still down here. But right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. We just go through the door. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. It can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Okay, let's go for it. Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Could we have come straight to the door then? Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then, click. Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Where do we end up now? Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6, the last chapter. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Ooh. Straight on with the deadly life. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. Climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. Well, I can see it. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. I don't remember those little comic book faces coming out like that. Are they new to the PS4 version? Or probably not, they haven't added much else. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work's in my blood. Sherlock Holmes was her grandfather. There's a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Right.
Because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort?
It's true.
Kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. But you'd be reunited after all these years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There's something I want to say to him, though. What?
No
matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it? I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work, so he kept himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me, because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that, compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However,
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
so
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
however,
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me, even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I've no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Only connections through blood, nothing more. We're connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey,
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. God, that was a lot for a little conversation. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. A lot of these little cutscene-y things so far. Looks like this is it.
indeed.
On the other side of the store, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember the hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. How'd she know where it was? I don't know. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Yeah, it's here. It's been so long since we've been here. Looks like we're back.
Phew.
But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. Can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favour. Okay. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you too. You helped me so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then,
Then let's just get a concrete answer.
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. But wait, that's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. It's not like we can run away. It's probably already seen him on the camera. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. Yeah. It's the same, rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now. Don't worry, what do you think is going to happen? Isn't. Because the mastermind's the one that's ensnared. Mastermind's ensnared? He said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Makuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was...
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little... no, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we
Let's
go?
get going. Oop. Let's leave this room before going on the map, just in case. Not sure if it really matters, but... you know. Oh, I bought a few new songs. Most of the new songs with the coins we'd saved up. That's all. Right, this way. It wouldn't be far to walk, but... never mind. Wonder where all the other characters are.
Well now.
Hey!
Well now.
Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really going to be okay? You're supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I've got to punish you again. This time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko,
Right.
do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
no.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? I lose? You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right,
And in response to that unexpected development,
indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realised that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. Never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you'd killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Makuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You took a big game. You're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well,
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this? A comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution, he would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronted you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
what the?
That's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence.
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
that's what we have
then I
to
suggest
do.
you take my advice. So, what's this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Makuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for
Time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair.
Hey,
Well, that'll make for a proper climax, when you say. Sorry, someone was choking outside. Never mind. A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Makuro's killer, the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'd probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Bear it.
Very interesting indeed. How very Teddy from Persona 4. Berry.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for beer jokes. Now, what you've suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys.
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will you hope win out, or will my despair claim you victory? Let's have one final grisly showdown. You agreed. And we still have a shot at this. This is the long way to climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pouring around the school. If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good. Then let's bear it all. You can claw your way to the truth of Makuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school. Then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? As excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
Remember that for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything's based on school regulations, and having a trial for Makuro is no exception to that. Makuro's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations. which would have to mean that whoever killed Makuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. Oh, Polar Bear style. Okay. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step at Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
Listen.
Telling the truth. Why'd he go all quiet all of a sudden? I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey.
Come on, Kodo. Let's go. Okay. So now you know the concept of the last chapter, chapter 6. We have to discover all the truths. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. Just like that, we're out of the gym. Hey. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle's still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept.
because
So because of that one moment, the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down? I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
Listen.
What did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
Don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. The reason?
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
it would
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. Talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair. The mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. What? Want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very
At least,
least,
that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. That's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That's precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed to live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept his suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they've violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept the challenge.
however,
That's only thanks to you that we got that chance, Because you believed in me, another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
Wrong.
In the end though, I couldn't prove any of it. It's just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanour is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However.
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
Correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the Mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
Hey.
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True. But now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the Mastermind. Work together with everyone.
However.
Is that really possible?
Anyway,
right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
Probably in a dorm somewhere. Shall we go? Yeah, let's go. I'm surprised they're not in the dining room. They always seem to be in the dining room. But no. Oh. By the way, I think we've seen our last Monokuma theatre. I mean, it would make sense now. You can feel the climax coming, can't you? So, not far off. Anyways, let's find them. I said the dorm's somewhere. Nope. Nope. Ah, come on then, Hina. Yuya. She inside?
Hey.
I don't think she's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. Not Celeste. She's a bit dead. Chihiro's a bit dead. Ooh, Toko. It's Toko's room.
Hey.
Don't think she's here. Okay. Junko's a bit dead. Sayaka's a bit dead. Byakuya. Toko will probably be with him, so...
Hey.
Nope. Koto, I don't think he's in. I wish there was a 180-degree turn. I'm not sure where we're actually going, you know. Okay, Hero, maybe.
Hey.
Nope. That's all of them, innit? I'm gonna check the dining room out. I mean, you never know. It said the dorms, but oh yeah. And suddenly we were greeted with, oh hello. Oh, you again. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Bye. Jeez, what the heck?
However.
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah. Yay.
Is that Makoto?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto!
Huh? You survived?
Jeez. You're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the
Yeah man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto, he smells like a wet dog. Get away, shoo, shoo. You can't say much, you didn't have a shower for days. And in a flash, my tears dried up. Right, let's talk to our mates.
Yo,
Makoto, what was it like hanging out in the spirit world? I didn't go to the spirit world.
you know?
Did you get to talk to her? Who? Miss Cleo. No, I didn't talk to her. I mean, I didn't go to the spirit world. I mean, who the heck's Miss Cleo? Who knows? Still can't believe you survived. Yeah, me either. Do you realise why it is you escaped execution? It was alter ego. You saved my life.
That's right.
Not too many people can say that their life saved by a computer program. Imagine it was a learning experience for you. I didn't mean to go there. So what have you guys been doing while I was gone? Well, we figured that since the trial was over, we'd have access to new places again. And, no dice, all the rooms that were locked before were still locked, so there weren't any new areas. Then where can we go to find new clues? Oh, you stink, you rotten. Rotten physically, mentally, everywhere you can be rotten. Sorry, I was rolling around in garbage for a while. It smells so smelly. Super smelly. You smell even worse than me. Way worse than me. I win. She seems happy for some reason. Oh, she just won.
Makoto.
It's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. Need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what? Is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously? What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind. What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it.
However,
His decision meant that he would be the one to die. You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? Make it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. Used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean.
I'm totally in the dark here. If anyone doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again. Later. So, no, all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Makuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? There's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery?
But
Well, we've been looking around all this time. We still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
Probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? Hey, you said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us. I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say. But figuring out who the mastermind is, and how they killed Makuro, and all the school's mysteries, it's a pretty tall friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial's different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
indeed.
That's what I thought too at first. Till Monokuma gave us this little hint of his. It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. But why?
So
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised a scene like that.
in other words,
According to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There are 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Makuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them.
that's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue? Or do you get it now? Saying the mastermind's one of us? You can't be serious. Wait, you can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that's one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, so they must be a high schooler. Can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? Did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active? Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret. I don't care how sneaky you are. We would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times. Maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. It won't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Maybe, but still.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway. At this point I can rely only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I've no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. Master didn't take me with him. Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. It's totally useless. So bye. With that, Toko's trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
How come?
How about
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves. What about you, Hina? Guess I'll do the same thing.
But
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know? But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depend on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto! That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
okay.
So I figure at least here in the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Indeed. Right, I'm going to end it off there. Next time we're going to be doing the investigation. We're going to be having a look round. I don't know if we'll have time to do it all in one go, or if it'll take like another episode after that. I don't know. Anyways, this has been GreenyXI. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in a bit when we get some investigating done. See you again in a bit, folks.